before the sun. Coffee in my cup, charts loading one by one. Ain't no time to waste, got my system down. Trading's what I do, about to get this crown. Screens all lit up, candles red and green. This my morning shit, know just what I mean. Sipping slow and steady, while I check the trends. Mad focus now, this is how my day begins. Charts and coffee got me in my groove. This my daily move, yeah, I got something to prove. Charts and coffee got me feeling smooth. This my daily truth, yeah, I know just what to do. Fuck the formal trading, that ain't how I roll. Take my time analyzing, that's how I get gold. Coffee getting cold, but I'm locked right in. Watching patterns form, know just where to begin. This ain't rocket science, just my daily grind. Same shit, different day, but I'm doing fine. Got my setup perfect, got my mind just right. About to make these moves, gonna do this shit all night. Yeah. Sipping and trading, trading and sipping. Got my momentum, ain't no way I'm slipping. And patterns, patterns and flows. This is my rhythm, everybody knows. Charts and coffee got me in my groove. This my daily move, yeah, I got something to prove. Charts and coffee got me feeling smooth. This my daily truth, yeah, I know just what to do. Money moves, they all this shit feel from home. I can get cold, but I'm still in the zone. Making money move, yeah, this shit feels like home. Fuck sleep, I got my morning mapped, while these other bitches still trapped in the naps. Quiet house, screens lit up bright. My setup perfect, everything's right. First sip hits, mind gets clear. Another day to fucking dominate here. Watch the numbers dance and slide, while my coffee keeps me certified. Charts and coffee started right, yeah. Focus tight, mind in flight, mind in flight. Charts and coffee make it flow, yeah. That's the rhythm that I know. Second cup, now I'm in the zone. All these patterns speaking in code. They don't know about this morning grind, being sharp when others fall behind. Fuck that FOMO, I stay composed. Years of practice, that's how it goes. Every move calculated clean. This ain't luck, you know what I mean. Early bird gets the fucking win. That's why I'm here where I've always been. Discipline hits different when it's dark. That's what sets the real one me. Early bird gets the fucking win. That's why I'm here where I've always been. Discipline hits different when it's dark. That's what sets the real ones apart. Their cup's cold, but I don't care. These indicators showing me where to place it perfect, time is sweet, while amateurs still catch disease. This game ain't for the weak or slow. Gotta be ready when it's time to go. Morning ritual got me trained. Others sleep while I maintain. Charts and coffee one more time, yeah. This rhythm's yours and this rhythm's mine, this rhythm's mine. Early hours hit me with a different kind of peace. While the world's still quiet, I find my release. Just me and these numbers dancing slow, building patterns in my mind as I go. Something special about this morning and way before the day is time to care. And I keep asking myself as the minutes tick by, and I keep wondering why every morning feels so right. What's brewing in my coffee or my mind? What's brewing, leaving yesterday behind? What's brewing in this cup of time? What's brewing as these thoughts align? You asked me once why I rise before the sun. Said I'm chasing something that can't be outrun. It's not about the money or the gain, it's about finding clarity when things ain't the same. Each morning ritual brings me closer to truth. Like watching steam rise, I'm finding proof that patience builds more than just a perfect cup. It's teaching me when to hold, when to give up. The minutes tick by, every morning feels so right. What's brewing in my coffee or my mind? What's brewing, leaving yesterday behind? What's brewing in this cup of time? What's brewing as these thoughts align? Sometimes I wish you could see this morning meditation with me, where everything makes sense before the world gets intense. What's brewing, leaving yesterday behind? What's brewing in this cup of time? What's brewing as these thoughts align? What's brewing me? Catching pattern while the world's still asleep. First light hits my screen, I'm in my element. Fresh brew by my side, mind is confident. Reading these patterns like sheet music, feel the flow. Each candlestick painting stories as they go. Morning meditation with my market view. Catching waves of data, riding them with you. Some see just numbers, I hear the melody. Each trend line speaking rhythmically to me. Time signatures changing, support levels hold. Breaking down resistance as the day unfolds. Charts and coffee, that's my harmony. Finding rhythms where others just see. Random moves and noise, but baby, can't you see? These patterns move like jazz, just trust in me. Moving like jazz, just trust in me. Second cup hitting different minds, eye clear. Watch these price points dance, appear and reappear like a jazz musician. Reading between the lines, finding sweet spots where opportunity shines. Keep it cool and steady, no need to rush. Let the market breathe, feel that morning hush. Been studying patterns since you've been sleeping. Watching lines form art while knowledge I'm reaping. Strategy tight like a bebop groove. Calculated steps on when to make my move. Speed picks up, more intense delivery.
Quick shifts come in tempo, changing fast. Gotta stay composed, make these moments last. Reading signals, catching every beat. Market symphony playing just for me. Mind state elevated, focus clean. This ain't just trading, this is art you're seeing. Charts and coffee, it has my harmony. Finding rhythms where others just see. Random moves and noise, but baby, can't you see? These patterns move like jazz, just trust in me. Moving like jazz, just trust in me. Want a ritual complete. Left my mark on these streets of green and red, but the rhythm stays in my head.
Morning comes, I think of you first. Short lines dance while my coffee bursts. Been at this game since day one, teaching me patience like you always done. Charts and coffee, that's our way, that's how we start the day. Got my screens lit, what you gonna say? Watch how the patterns play. Numbers flow like the brew in my cup. Some days down, but we keep looking up. You showed me how to read these signs. Now every morning feels like yours and mine. Remember what you taught me about staying cool. When markets get wild, I follow your rules. Charts and coffee, that's our way. That's how we start the day. Got my screens lit, what you gonna say? Watch how the patterns play. Just you and me, and these morning routines. Building something real, building something real, know what I mean? I watch you rushing in the morning, trying to catch every move. But let me share something with you that'll help improve your groove. See, you're like fresh beans waiting to release what's locked inside. But patience makes the difference between success and a wild ride. Take it slow, watch it form, just like steam rising up warm. Let it brew, just like your morning cup, just like your morning cup. Take your time, watch it flow, don't rush to drink it up, don't rush to drink it up. Wisdom comes in drops, like coffee through the filter, finding patience at the top. You check your screens at sunrise, numbers dancing everywhere. But trading's like my coffee method, it needs time and tender care. Temperature's important, just like timing in the trade. Too hot and you'll get burned quick, too cold opportunities fade. Take it slow, watch it form, just like steam rising up warm. Let it brew, just like your morning cup. Take your time, watch it flow, don't rush to drink it up. Wisdom comes in drops, like coffee through the filter, finding patience at the top. I've seen too many burn out, trying to catch every wave, but the ones who last the longest know just when to stay away. So here's my morning lesson as I pour this cup for you. The market gives its gifts to those who know just what to do. Like coffee needs its moments for the flavors to extract. Your trades need proper timing before you plan to act. Let it brew, just like your morning cup. Just like your morning cup. Take your time, watch it flow, don't rush to drink it up. Don't rush to drink it up. Wisdom comes in drops, like coffee through the filter, finding patience at the top. Just up before the rest of the block, now just me and my laptop. Tick tock, haven't even brushed my teeth yet, but these charts ain't gonna read themselves, I bet. Watch the steam rise, study every line. Same way I read these charts all the time. Coffee in my system, mind getting clear. That's how we make these moves round here. That's how we do. Red candles flash on my screen while I'm sipping something mean. Used to play it fast and lose, now wait for confirmation, that's the truth. Got a system, got a plan, I'm trading like a rookie, understand. Numbers dancing, but stay cool, cause panic selling's for a fool. Some days green, some days red, gotta keep a level head. Deep breath in, let it flow, this ain't no casino, yo. This is chestnut checkers, fam, gotta think before you slam. Markets opening in 5, feel my focus come alive. Charts tell stories if you know how to read between the highs and lows. Been at this since way back when, now I'm teaching you, my friend. This ain't luck, this ain't chance, this is morning market dance. Watch the steam rise, study every line. Every single morning, we do this right. Coffee in my system, mind getting clear. It's the only way we move from here. Morning light creeps through my window pane. Before the world wakes, I'm in my domain. Steam rising slow like thoughts in my brain. Watching lines that move like waves of grain. Every morning's got its own sweet flow. Some days fast, but mostly moving slow. Learning how to read which way things go. Finding peace in what these mornings show. In the quiet hours, patterns start to speak. When my mind is clear, that's what I see. In the quiet hours, patterns start to speak. When my mind is clear, that's what I see. Fuck the noise, I'm focused on my path. Reading signals through the aftermath. Every line's a story that I grasp. Some shit falls, other things will last. Damn, I love these mornings by myself. Learning lessons money couldn't help. Every cup of wisdom brings me wealth. Beyond what's sitting on my shelf.
Right. Welcome back, everybody. This is another live lesson for everybody. I believe this is week 19. This week we're going over Ride the Waves. Ride the Waves is the title of today's lesson, but specifically it's what to do when the market isn't working for you, right? So when I say ride the waves, I mean riding the, consistency of the market where we're going up sometimes, we're going down sometimes we're kind of staying in those little tight areas where it's just kind of consolidating up and down, right? The market's constantly flowing like the ocean, right? So today we're going over what to do when the markets are against you, and we'll go a little bit in depth of how we can maximize when the markets are really, really pushing strong for you, but heavy focus on when it's going against you. We'll get straight into it with our first part is recognizing when it's not your market, right? So this is a very, very tight process, meaning you have to make sure that you're not getting inside your own head and we're not taking, a couple losses and then thinking, oh, the market's going against me, I've got to change something, right? That's a fear mindset. That's a fearful mindset. That means that you're expecting to win as much as possible, because if you expected to win as much as possible, taking a couple losses is going to hurt. It will, no matter what, because that's your expectations not being met. And what happens when that happens? We are left with disappointment, right? We are left feeling distraught. Anytime we feel distraught or disappointed, we want to change because we don't want to feel that way anymore. And what happens when we change? We change up what we're doing and we end up losing more because we lose that level of consistency. So we've already gone over that plenty of times in the past. This time we're going to talk about when it is okay to make a change, right? Because there are times that we have to make a change. And we'll go over the bulletin points I have right there. First one, unusual losses. So what do I mean by unusual? I don't mean, oh, you usually only take, 3-4 trades a week and one of those is a loss, right? So let's say that's a usual week and this week you end up taking 2, right? Well, that's not, it's one more than usual. But if you go an entire week and all 5 days are losers, right? So, let's say you take 1 trade a day and you lose 5 in a row. That's a little odd, okay? I'm not saying to immediately change something, give it another week. If you lose again that week, I highly doubt it's going to be another 5 losses, but even if it's just a losing week, you lose 3 out of the 5, right? Or 2 losses, a break even, and 2 wins, so you're break even for the week, whatever, just making up scenarios for you guys to kind of understand what I'm saying. But that would be a sense where, hey, maybe I should scale back a little. Remember, we're not changing our strategy, not yet at least. We're just scaling back. Because again, it's only been 2 weeks. We took a lot of losses on the first week. We took a couple losses on the second one, right? Whatever it may be. we scale back a little. We say, okay, hey, let's prepare. Let's prepare for the market to be in a bit of a tussle. So we'll scale back to 50% size. So what I mean by that is if you trade $200 a trade, now risk 100. So let's play this in a live scenario. If that happens, right, you're down, let's say you're down 7R, right? Down 7R in 2 weeks. That's pretty big for most people. If you scale back and the next week is a winner, right? Cool, now you're up 2R. Well, if you scale back, you're really only up 1R, right? So we're still down 6. The next week, we come back and we take a few more wins, right? Now we're up 2R, right? So now we can see, okay, well, the market really wasn't against us. Now it's okay to scale back into what our proper size was. Again, this is not going to happen one-to-one. I'm just kind of giving examples of what could happen and how it's okay to scale back on our risk before we start to involve ourselves in changing our strategy. However, let's say it's the other side of the spectrum, right? You have those heavy losses in those first 2 weeks, you scale back, and you take another losing week. Well, now you've only lost half of what you would have. And then next week, you have another losing week. Again, you've only lost half of what you would have. So now you've actually saved yourself 50% of what you would have lost, and you haven't changed your strategy, and you're just riding out those losses, right? It's important to know that we have to undergo losses from time to time for us to improve, right? Or not even to improve, but just to get to the other side of the trading spectrum, meaning we have to go through drawdown to see profit. This is just how the market is made up. So hopefully that makes sense. Next would be erratic changes in structure. So this one's a little bit more detail oriented in the way that you trade or the way the market performs and how you dictate different assumptions about the market. But an example of this would be, let's say we're in a heavy trending market. So what would that look like? Well, that would mean that our support and resistance levels are really far away, right? That means that we have a lot of room that the market can kind of just flow freely up or down, right? So that's a trending market. But then a ranging market, something that of course many of us do trade, but I'm assuming most of us are trend traders, trying to maximize on as much profit as we can per trade to mitigate the risk. But a ranging market, you're going to have tight support and resistance level. You're going to have a lot of change of characters in the trend. You're going to have you're not going to have a lot of break of structures because it's constantly changing in what direction that it's moving. So if you're noticing this on the pre-market charts or even going into each day, right, before the market opens, you can see that it's changing. That's a time where you might say, hey, I don't feel comfortable trading in this market. Let me scale back my risk. So preventing those losses before they happen. Again, not changing our strategy. It's very different. We are not trying to avoid losses. We're trying to mitigate the losses. So we're still taking on losses, or at least expecting to, right? But we're saying, okay, well, I'm going to trade with half size. Because if it's a winner and we get lucky, great, so be it. We made some money. Maybe it was half of what we should have, but we still made money. But if we take losses, we're taking half-size losses. And then once you see that the market's kind of opened up again, and we can see those trends are back where they need to be, now we can go back in with full size. Again, ties into my next bulletin, slow movement over the week. Kind of the same thing. If you're getting slow movement, you're most likely going to be in a ranging market. That's pretty similar. But then the last one, emotional frustration. So this is very different from the first three, because the first three had to deal with physical market changes or physical financial changes, aka losses. But emotional frustration can occur over any of these happening. So it can occur if you're not comfortable downsizing your risk, because why wouldn't we be comfortable with that? There's only one reason. You want to make more than you probably should be, right? So if you know the market probably isn't in your favor and you're too frustrated to downsize because you want to see those wins, then it's going to be very difficult for you to actually make that decision. And when you go into the market and you take those losses, it's going to hurt that much more, because in the backside of your mind, you're going to say, man, if only I had downsized a little, then I wouldn't be where I am. And you're going to have to take a step back from there. Okay, so always monitoring ourselves and knowing, hey, I need to go into this with a clear head. I don't want to be overindulgent, knowing that the market's not there for me. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Again, take a screenshot if you need, whatever you want. And next one is change of structure, right? So we talked about this just a second ago, but I wanted to give a couple examples here. So a ranging market right there next to it, you can see a little here. I've got my mouse here. You can see we've got equal highs right here, a small break of structure that eventually just comes right back into that area, a change of character followed by a change of character followed by a change of character. I mean, this is just up and down, up and down, up and down. This would be a great example of what we want to avoid if we are trend traders, right? You know, vice versa, if you're a range trader, I just speak from what I do and I'm a trend trader. So, you know, if this doesn't apply to you, just, you know, swap my words around. It's pretty one-to-one though. And then a trend right here on the bottom. Again, a great example. We come down here at the bottom, get that initial change of character to go long, comes up, boom, comes down, creates that higher low, comes up, creates the higher high, comes down, kind of bounces off the previous higher high as a support level, creates that break of structure, and we continue to move up with more break of structures until we eventually hit equal high, and it kind of flattens out. If I could show you more of this chart. But again, we know what ranges and trends look like. It's just important to use these indicators, and you don't have to use this exact one, but to use some form of indicator to dictate, hey, is the market in my favor or is it not in my favor, and to take the proper actions to account for it. And what I have written right next to that, you know, let's go over that. It's very common for traders to get wrapped up in the same movements each day. However, to truly see improvement, we must adapt. So to explain that, in the past, I preach a lot how important consistency is, and I am not diminishing that whatsoever. However, once you get to a point where you are no longer fearful going into the market, you no longer feel distraught whenever you take on a few losses, you no longer feel scared to let your winners run, like any of these common traits that beginner traders have, once we get over that, now it's time to say, hey, I'm going to look at my strategy, and I'm going to look at ways that I can improve. And one of those ways may be exactly what we're talking about. And it may just be, instead of going in and doing the same thing every single day, regardless of what the market is obviously showing us, we scale back our risk a little bit. We scale into those winners a little bit, right? I'm not saying buy more whenever a trade's going in your direction, right? Unless, you know, you've backtested that. But I'm saying, hey, if you're starting to see a lot of wins back to back and you're scaling your account, maybe it's time to add another account if you're trading on funded futures, right? Maybe if you're trading live, this could be an indicator to invest into your account with a little bit more capital so that you can continue to risk more money but the same percentage, right? These are different ways that we can scale into and improve ourselves without directly changing our strategy. But again, there does come a time where you can see that, hey, maybe I should add this. You know, for example, the change of character and break of structure indicator. That's something that I've recently added just because I feel comfortable with changing my strategy in a way that is going to help me improve, but it's not going to drastically change my strategy. It's not a whole new, brand new formula. It only changes it a little bit, but in the positive, okay? So always, always, always look to change as little as possible, but if we have to, stop at the strategy last, right? So go to the strategy as the last thing to change. Okay, and then moving on, when to step away, right? So we talked a lot about scaling back. We talked about scaling into our winners a little bit, right? We talked about, you know, when it's okay to change, but when should we just step away altogether, right? Not quitting, obviously, but when should we say, all right, the market's not here for me. I'm not going to trade today at all. When is that okay, right? The first time and the most common time is when you're not just here, right? Or be here now, when you're not there in the market, right? Maybe there's something on your mind that's weighing on you that you're saying, oh man, I can't stop thinking about this. I just can't get it out of my head, right? If that's the case, and then you go into the market and you start taking losses, not only is it going to affect how you trade, but it's going to affect how you deal with whatever else it is that's on your mind. And maybe what's on your mind is your trading account. Maybe it's, man, I took a lot of losses last week. I'm not doing so well. I just wiped out 2 months of profit in a couple days. And now you're going into it and you're about to lose some more, right? You don't know it yet, but the market's kind of showing you, hey, you're about to lose some more. Step away. Take a week off. Remember, the market very rarely hits you really hard, meaning you take a bunch of losses, and then it automatically turns around and you start making a bunch of winners. That very rarely happens. Most often, you're going to go through periods, long periods, maybe it's a couple weeks, maybe it's a couple months, of the same thing, meaning loss, win, you know, that break-even streak. Maybe it's loss, win, right? Slow, steady losses into drawdown. Whatever it may be, understand that it's never bad to just say, hey, I'm taking today off. Hey, I'm going to deal with these other things, and I'll come back tomorrow because I know I'll be feeling fresh. You won't go into it with the feeling of yesterday's losses because you won't have taken any trades. You can leave that in the past and you can say, okay, fresh mind, fresh me. I'm here. I'm ready to trade. Nothing else matters. I'm going to place my trades and I'm going to get out. Scale down. Man, you took a bunch of losses. I'm going to take a week off and I'm going to come back with half size. But ask yourself, how confident are you that you can do that? Really, how confident are you that you could say, I'm going to take a week off, 5 days, and then I'm going to come back with half size? Because I promise you the first thing you're thinking is, man, what if that's a really good week and I only get half of it? Well, hey now, we just talked about how the markets move in periods. So if you had a week where you just lost heavy, why do you think the next week you're going to win heavy? That doesn't happen. I shouldn't say it doesn't happen, but it rarely happens. At least from everything I've seen, all the data I've back tested and live tested and recorded, that very rarely happens. Now, if you take a whole month off, that's a different story, but I don't think anybody here has taken months off. But week to week, day to day, it's just not really common for it to go from really bad to really good. So take a break from it. Step away. Maybe adjust some things. Try some things out, right? Especially if you're on funded accounts and you're still on evaluation accounts, don't be afraid to just say, hey, I'm going to take a break for a second. I'm going to pause for a second because I can see a question over to my right. Reality, I see you asked, PD had asked, sorry. Missed the first part. Does position sizing affect if we see the trade through, like holding on to TP, or is it managing the trade like trailing stop loss? Okay, so I'm going to go through that real quick. I think I understand, but when I talk about position sizing, right, I mean directly how much are you going into that trade. So when I look at, for example, when I look at what is my strategy, right, that encompasses everything. That encompasses how much I'm going to risk. That encompasses where my take profits are, where my stop loss is. It encompasses where my stop loss is going to move, where my take profits are going to move. It encompasses everything, as well as where does my entry get set? Where does my stop loss get set? Like all these things. How does my setup get dictated, right? What indicators are going to void an entry, right? All these things are one and the same. So, PD, when I say maybe it's time to scale back, I don't necessarily mean, take closer stop losses or take closer take profits. I mean, literally, when you enter this trade, instead of taking on 2 contracts, you take 1 contract. Okay, I can actually pull up the live stream. Give me 1 second. Okay, yep. So PD, if you're still over there on YouTube, I can see your chats. Hopefully, I answered your question. But yeah, I wouldn't directly say, use a different stop loss or use a different take profit formula because that's affecting the strategy, but rather, whatever you're going into it, half the size, right? Do everything else the same, just risk half of what you were before. Make things simple, don't overcomplicate it, okay? Reality, do we have any other questions over there before I keep going on? I've got YouTube pulled up, but that's about it.
No, but Smelly Forest Boy just asked. They're in Discord.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go. I can see that. I'll go ahead and read that just for everybody to hear. He said, adapting to smaller positions takes time, but it's worth it. Absolutely. I would get frustrated that I'm not making a lot, in quotes, but I'm losing a lot less. And I am finding it easier to let the winners run, hold overnight, cut a smaller loser, etc., practicing the process. That's great. That's exactly what I want to hear, Smelly Boy. And yeah, when you're going into it, hopefully these things are getting easier, right? We never want to overcomplicate things. Letting those winners run is one of the most difficult things that traders can have, because you can see, hey, I'm green, hey, I'm in profit. And I'll be honest, the best way I manage that is I just don't look at it. I manage the trade, but I turn off, on my charts, I cannot see how much money I'm making, right? I don't see it until the trade is closed. But I know before I go into it, hey, this is how much I'm going to lose. Because I look at how big my stop loss is, and I put in X amount of contracts to account for how big the stop loss is, and that's it. I know exactly how much I'm going to lose. I know exactly how much I should win, but I don't look at how much I'm up until the trade's over. A lot of you guys are staring at that green and red, like you're trying to watch it. But you shouldn't. Why would you watch it? If your take profit is static, like it kind of should be for the most part, right? We don't want to drag it too far. Why are you watching it? And if your stop loss is static, like it should be, unless it hits a level where you should move it closer to break even or move it up to a take profit 1, meaning a trailing stop loss, right? That could be part of your strategy. But why are you watching it if those two things aren't happening? There's no reason. It's the same reason. It's the same thing if I say, why do you go into the market expecting to win? Why would you do that? Because one of two things is going to happen. The first one is you're going to win, right? Hopefully this happens. But then your expectations are met and you feel nothing. You feel nothing. You feel maybe a little happy, but other than that, you're not going to feel much. You're going to go into it and you're going to say, oh, okay, I expected this to happen. Cool, I'm done. The other thing is you're going to lose. Or at least, not win. Now, if this happens, not only were your expectations not met, but the thing you feared happened. So, you failed to meet your expectations, and the thing you were afraid of happening happened. So now these two things combined, you have to take that into the rest of your day, and take it into the next day, and you're going to go into setup the same way. So, why would you do that? It's the same thing if you don't plan on
Are you still there, Landon? Yeah, I don't know what happened, BD. Your audio cut, Landon. You're not paying for this. You're hilarious, PD. Let me see if he kicks back on here.
Hello?
There you go. You're back. Yeah, your audio cut.
All right, yeah. I don't know what happened there. Everything was green on my side. But
Completely
anyways,
went off over here. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm not sure what you guys heard last, so I'll just get back into what we were looking at just a second ago. But basically, guys, I'm gonna kind of bring it to a conclusion here. This is the last slide I have for everybody. If you have any more questions, go ahead, post them while I'm talking. Biggest takeaway for today: understand when the market is against you, right? What we were looking at right here. Look at the way the market is structured. Understand why you trade, right? If you're looking for ranges, if you're looking for trends. And then look for ways to indicate if it's going against you. And if it does, apply these simple things, right? Looking for unusual losses, erratic changes in structure, and then when to step away. Maybe you're a little bit too distraught, you're a little bit too invested, you got to take a few days off. Maybe you just need to scale back a little because you've taken on a few too many losses than what you expected. Any of these things are very normal and a very part of the process, but the last thing we want to do is to start making crazy erratic changes to our strategy just because we took on too many losses, right? If you go months at a time, maybe it's time to start looking at ways to improve, but just because a few losses occurred doesn't mean we change everything. All right, so I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not seeing any more questions. Reality, am I missing anything?
Nope, I'm not seeing anything on this side. Any questions, guys?
Well, yeah. If there's not, thank you all for joining me. I will say, it's been hectic at my other job, so that's why the videos on the YouTube channel have been lacking. I do have one that is almost ready. I just need to add a few more finishing touches, and then that will be ready to get uploaded. Reality, I'll send that over to you. Hopefully tomorrow. I have tomorrow off, so hopefully we can get that over to you. But again, thank you everybody for joining me. We'll see you next week. If you need any help, feel free to DM me. I'm always available. I'm usually always available, but yes, I'll end it there. Reality, you have a great day.
Yep, you too. PD said, thanks, homie. So I appreciate you, Landon. As always, great job.
Perfect. All right, guys. I'll see you around next week.
All right. Have a good one, man. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. PD, it's half price. All joking aside, it's half price. Things happen. Okay. No. Have a good one, PD. Everybody else that showed up, appreciate each and every one of you for attending. Yep. See you later. Aiken, Paul, have a good one. PD, have a good one. Appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you all first thing tomorrow morning. I'm playing classic Mega Drive games now on stream. Very nice. Beautiful. Everybody, you hear that? Paul is playing classic Mega Drive games on the stream in the Discord. Discord's free. The link in the description. Come over. Be part of that. Always fun over here, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see working on the co-op option so we all can play together. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, that's what Paul's working on. He's been hard at work. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all first thing tomorrow morning. And as always, guys, stay consistent out there.